Well, let's cut straight to the chase. So the toss has happened between Sri Lanka and England, and the latest news we are getting is that Sri Lanka have chosen to bat. Since it's a used wicket, that's what Dasun Shanaka is.
5 of the 5 matches that have been played at the SCG have been won by the team.
This World Cup. In this World Cup. So that it makes sense why he's chosen to bat first.
Not just that, England have a terrible record while chasing. Last 12 T20.
9, they've lost 9.
And when they're batting first, they've won 9 of the 12.
Yes. And if Sri Lanka have to fancy their chances of beating England, it has to be at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because the wickets offer a lot of option for the spinners. And today you have 2 of the best spinners that are there in the T20 World Cup in Wanindu Hasaranga and Mahesh Theekshana. Theekshana has been superb in the power plant, right? It was his exploits in the game against New Zealand that gave Sri Lanka a chance.
Yep.
At the same venue though, Sri Lanka would have been ruining those dropped chances of Glenn Phillips.
2 of them?
2 of them. There were 2 dropped chances. Yep. And Vanindu Hasaranga has been trying out a lot of variations, although there is one change in it. Chamika Karunaratne is in.
It's no longer a variation, I'd say. There's a new bowling action altogether, right?
Malinga-like. Very below sea level. Kedar Jadhav and Lasith Malinga
going as close to the ground as possible, getting that sling in place.
Rather than just roll it down, no? Just roll it down. That's what's the next thing. So, Pathum Nissanka, Kusal Mendes, Dhananjay De Silva, Charita Salanka, Bhanuka Rajapaksa, Dasun Shanaka, Vanindu Hasaranga, Chamika Karunaratne, Mahesh Theekshana, Lahiru Kumara and Kasun Rajita. But on the same hand, the Sri Lankan batting has not fired except against the 2 games against Netherlands and
they were good at the top in those 2 games.
Actually, yes.
Right?
But at the same time, I can say the same thing about England. Their batting has actually not come to the fore in this T20 World Cup.
And they have a pretty strong batting lineup.
Because what has been the situation when it comes to the England batting? David Malan struggled.
Ben Stokes has
struggled.
For runs,
Josh Butler has struggled primarily because
but
he wants
2 good knocks from him, right?
No, Alex Hales played a good knock.
Recently, I think a 70-run knock, 73-run knock from Butler.
Against New Zealand.
Against New Zealand, you can say. But
and came at a good strike rate as well.
Yeah. Alex Hales also has batted well. But I would say Moeen Ali and the rest of the lower order offers a much better batting proponent than...
Their bowling looks very attractive at the moment.
Their bowling has been the difference.
I think the biggest surprise as far as England are concerned in this World Cup has been, we all expected, them to go bang with the bat, lots of runs. It's been their bowling at the death that's surprised everyone.
Thanks to a certain Sam Curran.
Sam Curran, exactly. 9 wickets.
Nobody knows how he's emerged as this leading death bowler for them. He's their go-to bowler. He's now not just a wicket-taking bowler. They look forward to bowling him in after the 15th over.
In fact, if I remember correctly, it was his elder brother Tom, who was always seen as the T20 specialist. Sam was always seen as that one consistent test bowler.
Absolutely.
Look what he's done now.
Roles have changed.
Correct.
Tom is no longer
made his T20 debut way before Sam did. I think there's a good 10-month gap between them.
And his father was a pretty decent, you may say, a decent player for Zimbabwe, Kevin Curran. Kevin Curran and his sons Sam and Tom.
There's another sibling also, if I'm not wrong, or was there only 2?
I have to check. So
the third one?
I'm not sure.
We'll have to check. So the stakes are pretty high. It may be game over for Sri Lanka in the T20 World Cup 2020. But England, oh boy. Ben Curran. Oh, yeah. Oh, like a Ben Harmison. The brother of Steve Harmison. Sam Curran, one of the... in fact, there are...
so 2 brothers, yes?
No, even the grandfather's name was Kevin Curran.
Oh, so
Kevin Curran Jr.
And he has Tom Curran and Ben Curran.
And where is Sam Curran? Oh, 3 brothers.
This is Sam Curran's profile, so they won't show...
So, Tom Curran, Ben Curran, Sam Curran. All 3-letter words. Okay. So basically, if you have to look at it, high stakes for England. If they win by even 1 run, 1 wicket, or in the super over, they are through. But if England lose,
then
Australia will be your second semi-finalist in this group.
But would England take this as a psychological blow, losing the toss at the SCG? And they'll have to contend with 2 very good quality spinners.
Well, if you have to say, what assists, who got the maximum assistance in the games in Sydney? If you have to look at it in this T20 World Cup, it was the spinners and the pacers both. If you look at the Pakistan game, Shadab Khan changed the perspective.
I think the bigger worry is not just that, yes, they have a good bowling, but the fact that, most teams have managed to score about 185 over there. I think the par score at the SCG is just about 184, 186. Yeah. We saw Pakistan post a total, I think exactly
185.
Also one reason for that is that one of the boundaries, again on the squares, is 60 odd meters, so batsman targets.
Just like we had it in Adelaide.
But the only exception was the India-Netherlands game, which was, I think we made 170, I suppose, 160 or 170. I don't remember that.
But then the wicket was doing something.
Something, yes.
Because Kohli struggled that day a little.
Yeah, but Kohli, now there is no struggle because what's happened is...
I'm just saying with regards to the pitch that day at
KL struggled, Rohit struggled.
Rohit got the 50.
Much more than Virat, it was Rohit who struggled.
Yeah. So actually was scratchy that day.
Scratchy that day.
Agrim Guglani, can India still qualify for semi-final? I'm supporting India and I also want Pakistan to come back by prediction. Okay.
Speculation is the best.
Okay, so this is the thing. India will qualify for the semi-finals if they beat Zimbabwe. Simple. But if they lose, and if South Africa beat the Netherlands and Pakistan beats
win against Bangladesh,
then India are out.
Alright. But because Pakistan have a better
net run rate.
Yeah. They'll be equal on points.
But if Bangladesh beat Pakistan by a slim margin,
then India can go
then India will go through because of a better net run rate.
Correct. Because theirs is negative, Bangladesh is minus 1 point something.
Yes. So that way India can
that's to say, even if India were to lose, but Bangladesh defeat Pakistan,
then we still go through.
Then we still go through.
Correct. Yep. Because they'll be level, Bangladesh will be level on points, but with the inferior net run, right?
Yeah.
Unless they absolutely hammer Afghanistan, that's a whole different matter.
Prashant
Mohanty says, if we face England, we play in Adelaide. If we face Oz, then we play in Sydney. Why so? Why venue change? Because the host, Australia, will always get first preference for the semi-finals, and they'll play the first day. Hence the venue change.
Yep. So that is how it is. Prashant, sir, do you have any updates that the England team will travel to Pakistan in the current situation? Look, Prashant, currently at this point in time, the Ireland women's cricket team are playing 3 ODIs and 3 T20Is in Pakistan.
Correct. So
and the first ODI went off at that time when former Prime Minister Imran Khan, former Pakistan captain, was shot. But now it looks like the situation could be stabilized, and that is why I think there is no threat to England touring Pakistan later on, because remember, after the 3 ODIs that they play in Australia, they'll go to Pakistan for 3 tests, which will be for the first time after 17 years. So Prashant, as of now, there is no threat to the Pakistan versus England series in Pakistan. So Dex, this England versus Sri Lanka is the same scenario as the 2016 T20 World, but this time Australia is in place of South Africa. Yes, because what happened in that group was that it again became a very, very convoluted group, both in Group 1 and Group 2, because New Zealand did the unthinkable. They defeated India, they defeated Australia, they defeated all the teams. South Africa, on the other hand, lost to the West Indies. But West Indies lost to Afghanistan in that. And primarily, Sri Lanka had lost to the West Indies and but they defeated Bangladesh. No, they didn't, they were in the other group. Sorry. So, Australia, because of their loss to both New Zealand, they defeated Pakistan, they defeated Bangladesh. So, the India versus Australia game became a virtual shootout.
Correct.
In Mohali, and we all saw what happened. Okay. So, kindly discuss today's match only, PK, but we did discuss that. And England's record is 9-4 in head-to-head T20 internationals versus Sri Lanka.
Times there's been an absolute turnaround in that.
But head-to-head in World Cups, it's out of 5, 4 wins to England.
4 wins to England. And
there's one key, X factor we're all overlooking today. The man in Sri Lanka's dugout.
Yep. Oh yes.
Chris
Silverwood. Yep. Silverwood was the...
And he's really turned things around.
For Sri Lanka?
He really has.
Didn't have that much success for England, but man, for Sri Lanka, with those signs and everything, he's done really
He's already won a major trophy.
The Asia Cup, yes.
Defeating teams like Pakistan,
India, and also Afghanistan.
Despite the start that they had to the tournament to lift that team up, Again, a relatively new captain also in Shanaka.
Absolutely.
So,
and I think Sri Lanka's turnaround in the T20I happened in the series against Australia in 2022. Until then, Sri Lanka were losing on a regular basis, and that 59 runs in 2.5 overs which Dasun Shanaka hit against Australia, that changed their entire perspective.
Yeah, because it made him, for one, it made Dasun Shanaka their belief. It also ensured that they gave them a finisher. That's the role he plays now pretty much.
Exactly. You don't see him bat anywhere before number 5 now.
Yep. So especially the Sri Lanka middle order, that is the clincher for them. Bhanuka Rajapaksa, Dasun Shanaka, even Chamika Karunaratne can hit a few big blows.
They'll just be expecting, again, it's the last game of the tournament for them. They're anyway headed back home. They'll expect something from Mendes. He's now been in the team. He's been in and out, of course.
Kusal Mendes has been their ultimate. You talk about long ropes and everything.
Yeah, he's that long rope.
He's turned into a noose.
I recall him being around since forever.
Exactly.
He still play?
Yeah.
Disciplinary issues, lack of form. See, Mendes is still living on that 176 that he hit against Australia and Palakele. But that was also historic because it was the first time after 17 years that you managed to win a test series at home against Australia. You never won in Australia a test ever. So, Aditya Mohanty...
Don't take that comment.
Nah, it's very, 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 I may
classless.
say...
Not
classless, I will say very, very immature. Because look, every single thing aside, ideology, whatever it is, Aditya Mohanty, at the end of the day, we have to understand that Imran Khan was one of the greatest all-rounders and captains that we ever had in the game of cricket. You just touch upon the statistics.
Leave that aside. Why should anyone be shot at?
Exactly.
Very, very...
But anyway, we'll just talk about cricket.
A repeat of the Kotla game between England and SL 2016 T20 World Cup. Oh yeah, Dex. I remember Sri Lanka ran England very, very close in that game.
Yes.
Very, very close. It was the closest game that I could think of. And that is why... it was really, really a big problem for England. And remember, England huffed and puffed their way to the final because they had an inspired show against New Zealand. So that's why, that's the situation. Any changes in the England team?
No, it's the same.
It's the same.
So, I'm pretty sure it's the same. Hales, Butler, yes. Malan, Stokes, Brooke,
same
Livingston,
team.
Ali, Curran, Wokes, Adil Rashid. They don't need to change this. They don't need to change the lineup.
Your number 11 can bat.
Your number 11 is a test half century.
At the Ashes.
In the Ashes.
Yeah. So Mark Wood.
And then number 10 is he scored a counting under.
Yeah, but Mark Wood has been the man in form with the ball. He's bowling absolute rockets.
No, I think, the thing with their bowling is, I talk about their batting, and to be fair, if their batting is firing on all cylinders, then it's one of the strongest. But their bowling has actually lived up to potential, and what helps them is they have so much variety. You want a swing bowler, you have Chris Wokes. You want a left-arm swing bowler who can bowl at the death? You have Sam Curran. You want an express pacer? Well, Mark Wood's your man.
And you've got Moeen and Adil. And can take wickets. You've got a Jordan as well.
Adil Rashid. Jordan is not even in the 11.
But he played the previous game, did he?
He did. He was on his
yes.
He's not been playing. That's the thing. Chris Jordan is not a guaranteed starter in the side. And don't forget the spin options. Adil Rashid, Moeen Ali, Liam Livingston. Liam Livingston can bowl leg spin off spin.
Yep.
He did the other day.
He did. And Arun Teja saying, I hope England wins, has a better opponent for in the semis than Australia. I agree, Arun.
That will be a much, more hyped match.
Yes, I agree for the simple fact that India have Australia's number in the T20 format. And Australia's performances in the game against Ireland and Afghanistan, the two weaker teams in that group, actually did not inspire that much of confidence. I'm sorry. So, India have Australia's number in the T20 format, both in India and also in Australia.
I think England, if you're facing this English side with the kind of power play bowling that India have been doing, you'd fancy at least getting through their top order.
Yes.
2-3 batsmen, because the likes of Butler and all also do struggle a bit against the moving ball.
Yep.
Of course, you don't have Jason Roy there to look hopeless anymore.
And we did see Bhuvneshwar really.
To be fair, as I said, that was Bairstow and a hopeless Jason Roy who doesn't look like the same player.
Absolutely, but I think Bhuvi did dismiss Butler twice in that series.
Swinging ball,
almost similar dismissals.
Yes.
Banana swing.
Exactly.
Yep. And imagine. Fresh Adelaide wicket. could be a handful.
Yes.
And imagine if...
But we get to see that swing from Bhuvi, right?
Yeah.
In this.
We
in this
are.
tournament.
And now with Shami in...
Yeah.
Shami will get you that same movement. Now you have Arshdeep.
Hardik.
Also learned how to
Arshdeep looking for swing all the time.
And
these days.
and especially Arshdeep has been your major factor in the power play.
I think he's been the revelation for India this year.
Yep.
He
Indeed.
made his T20 debut again.
Yes.
He's been impressing everyone right from the IPL.
And the thing with Arshdeep is you have to remember this also. He was part of that same 2018 World Cup winning side, the Under-19 World Cup.
Yep.
But he was nowhere near the most hyped player from that batch.
He wasn't?
No, he wasn't. If you were looking at the bowlers, the two bowlers who everyone remembers from that tournament
Nagarkoti?
were Kamlesh Nagarkoti and Shivam Mavi.
Yep.
Nowhere
Both of them did get IPL contracts.
They got big contracts from
Yes,
Kolkata
from
Knight Riders.
KKR.
Yes.
And I think
both of them.
Kamlesh now is in DC.
Delhi Capitals.
Yeah.
Is in Delhi.
Mavi is still in KKR.
Still in
and he's
KKR.
still a potential bowler 4 years later.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. Vikram Talreja, Akash Bharadwaj, I'll take first. If England qualify without Bumrah, Butler can destroy bowling. Can be
No,
dangerous.
that's what I was just telling you.
Yeah.
I think, and the key for England, why it is we are talking about them not having explosive starts, is because none of the pitches they've played have really been those batting paradises. There has been something in it for
We've
bowlers.
been talking about it time and again now. The Indian openers have struggled. At least one of them has at some point.
Every opening
Warner
duo has struggled.
Yes.
You've seen Butler again, just apart from that 73 run knock
Yeah, they
against
haven't always been-
New
Decock has struggled.
Oh, yes.
Cock has struggled. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Even if you look at the Pakistan openers have struggled. Rizwan Babar
I
has
think they've
struggled.
struggled the most.
Yeah,
They've
actually.
struggled the most.
So, Dex is saying, Sid said Sri Lanka won that Kotla game against South Africa to qualify. Yeah, I know.
Yes, correct.
But
Yes.
that's how the game is. Vikram Talreja, both Ashwin and Chahal should play versus Zimbabwe. Akshar should sit out. Also, Pant needs to bring on Pandya's place. Okay, that will be interesting. That way, you'll know whom to play in semis while all have match practice.
You already know who you are playing.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Okay, Vikram.
I think it's just not being said by Rohit Sharma, but the fact that he said that, I've already told the players who are going to play the Pakistan game, just like that. I think that applies to the final as well. I think it's an unsaid thing within the team now. And the feeling we've been given as spectators of this game is that India will not change around much.
Correct.
No.
They won't. They'll take this Zimbabwe game very seriously. They'll probably go with the same unchanged team, and that's what is going to happen going into the final as well,
Semis.
hopefully.
Yeah. Vikram, there is a call that both Ashwin and Chahal should play versus Akshar should start. Okay, fine. But you remember the last time in the Asia Cup, what happened was that so Hardik Pandya was left out for the game against Hong Kong.
And then he lost momentum badly.
He lost momentum.
We're
Now,
talking about the Asia Cup, right?
yeah,
Yes.
but at the same time now,
The time that Pant and DK played together. Yes, that was
Yes,
the first time they
yes.
played together.
I would say, Vikram, maybe there is a chance that Pant plays in place of DK. Maybe. Because Pandya's place is certain, Vikram, for a reason. Apart from the bat, he is taking wickets with the ball.
And he is your go-to. Again, if it wasn't for Pandya in the Bangladesh game, India was struggling for wickets. Let's not forget.
Yes.
He bowled a couple of tight overs. He got you 3 breakthroughs. 3 breakthroughs.
Yep.
Bowled tight lines. Yes, he got knocked around a bit.
And Chahal as a batting option does not give you that much
There
of
is no
confidence.
batting.
There is no batting.
There is no batting at all.
Ashwin
No, the
does.
best point which is being made is made by Pradeep Shivalsan. He said, look, all your discussions are pointless. All you need to do is get Love Rami to change his prediction. I not wrong. So Love Rami is one of our commenters.
Yeah.
In recent times developed a bit of a reputation of getting everything spot on.
Really?
He, before anyone else, said Sri Lanka will win the Asia Cup.
Okay.
They won it. He's a prophet. He should change from Love Rami to Prophet Rami. So, is there any way India faces New Zealand in the semis? Can happen?
Yeah, but they would, because if they finish second somehow, but again, how?
Yeah, you can finish second.
You can
As I
finish
said,
second.
you
No,
can.
if you lose, but South Africa
wins and Bangladesh beat Pakistan.
So that is the only way it can happen.
That's the only way it
It is
is.
there. So still lots of permutation combinations possible, and we're
so much
loving
math,
it.
so much math.
Not happening.
Speak
Not
for yourself.
happening. He's being a Love Rami now.
No,
I like
but
the
to be
two
fair, I will
Yes.
show you some old videos of us. He has a pretty bad track record of getting predictions.
Of predictions.
No, I mean, I will just say one thing.
So I'm
in the
not making your
IPL,
prediction for the World Cup final.
No, in the
I'm
IPL,
not making it public.
Nana, IPL, 74 games. I got all 74 games scores wrong.
No, that's nothing.
Scores
no,
wrong.
that's nothing. At one point, there was like 20 odd games
Yeah,
ka
20.
streak.
14,
where he-
14.
14 game streak where he called every winner wrong. We even made a
Wait.
reel
But then I caught up.
We even made a reel about it. It's like he's confident. He's like 100% CSK lose.
All right.
CSK man, they had to have a torrent.
As much as a CSK fan you are, I think the Yellow Army would turn you away.
No, legit. We had some CSK fans in office who nicknamed him Panaute after a point.
I know.
It's like he'll say CSK wins, he'll come wearing yellow, and they won't lose.
Yeah. So
any color preference? So you were wearing yellow yesterday. It's
that was not yellow. It was lime green.
That was lime
lime what?
Green.
Lime green.
Yeah.
So
But in this
English
in
colors
this
now, so closer.
this
is
is
closest to red.
pink.
Yeah.
This is pink. Color neutral.
Color neutral today.
Yeah. But my
But
It is.
it's bubblegum color.
No, it's not bubblegum. Bubblegum is lighter.
Lighter. Okay.
Why are we discussing shades?
I know it's
wait.
everything is a shade of grey in this T20 World Cup.
We can't talk 50 Shades of Grey here. The channel will get banned.
Yeah. So Mark
we'll
Woods.
be jobless then.
I know. Yeah. So India can only play this after beating tomorrow match against Zimbabwe. No, that's not happening. I made a celebrate before I made a fantasy team for IPL.
I like his humor.
He's a very humorous
This
guy.
was a legit thing. People would be asking, Sidvi, what? At one point, they nicknamed him Akash Chopra.
All right then.
Oh boy. Yeah. Pandya, does he want to get rested, Vikram Talreja? If Pant will play, if he scores someone, then he'll be confused, and Pant needs to be in Pandya's place.
No, I think we're applying similar combinations to the playing 11
Point
now.
taken, Vikram. I mean, but if Pant in place of DK sounds to be a more like for like, because Pandya in place of Pant is not like for like. That is the only problem I have with that you made. Of course, point taken, Pant can play, but in place of whom? And the problem with playing Pant is you're wasting him at number 6.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're wasting him.
Unless you use him as a floater.
He is,
Yeah.
again, you can, but if he has to come and bat so deep, so late in the innings, he's not going to be as effective.
No,
We
no,
know
he
that.
won't, he won't.
I think we've seen that. There is evidence of that. There are numbers
Yeah.
to back that claim.
Yep.
Even up top, we've seen him as a floater. In the T20 format, it's not been his year.
Yeah.
Be it
It's
the
not been his
IPL.
career, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he doesn't have the numbers.
Doesn't
as far
have the
as-
numbers.
yeah.
So you have
But
to
what
play.
he does have right now is a country and a venue that he absolutely loves playing.
Not just that, a chip on his shoulder, point to prove. He's been sitting on
Yes.
the entire World Cup.
Yes.
And he almost came in that sense. I mean, in 2020, he almost didn't play because Saha had such a horrible time.
Yes.
That's why he played in Melbourne.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is why South Africa, PK is saying South Africa looks promising this time around. I see them in the finals.
They do look promising.
They do look promising.
And even Temba scored big runs recently.
Yeah, I
Not
mean,
big runs, but good strikes.
see, either of South Africa or New Zealand are playing the final, if we may say. Because look,
Say that again?
either of South Africa or New Zealand are playing in the final.
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Either of South Africa or New Zealand.
Yeah.
Because look, you're potentially going to see a New Zealand-South Africa semi-final.
So you're going for a new winner.
Every time there has been a new winner.
Except for 2016.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except for 2016. Yeah.
But even then, they were not the defending champions at that time.
They weren't.
So, every World Cup has produced a new winner, and only South Africa and New Zealand are the two established nations who have not won the T20 World Cup. India won it in 2007,
England.
Pakistan won it in 2009, 2010 Australia, I mean England, 2012 West Indies, 2014 Sri Lanka, 2016 West Indies, 21 Australia.
All of them established teams except for, as we say, these two.
These two.
The
So,
underachievers and the jokers.
yeah, but New Zealand have won
New Zealand,
two
again,
ICC events.
Even
Yes.
then, considering the fact that they've made every single knockout stage of an ICC tournament since
15.
Exactly. It's
15
massive.
final, 16 semi-final.
17, they made it to.
No.
17, we're not counting the champions.
No, not counting. 2019 final,
Final. 2021
final,
Final.
World
2020
Championship final.
final. I won that.
Yes.
And 2022 semi-final.
I think the 2015 final would be the only blip then, right?
It was a very one-sided final.
Yeah, exactly. That's one encounter they
they
won't
lost every
forget.
final.
Yeah.
But even the 2016 T20 World Cup semi-final was very one-sided.
Yeah, England did
England,
them pretty easily.
Jason Roy,
Jason
He just
Roy.
took the game away.
he took the game away.
Back when-
19 was the...
Ben Stokes has the ball in his hand.
Yeah, normally he does open. He does open. But 2019 World Cup, oh boy. Less said about that, the better.
Boundary.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
I can.
So, yeah, he would back England. But then, see, 3 events were happening and only
Yes.
2 of them gave me satisfaction.
One.
It has to be, yeah, of course.
Lewis Hamilton winning.
That was the only one that made me happy.
That would
I'm
make-
a Federer fan. Imagine my.
I was a Djokovic fan.
No, 2 because then England winning also.
Yeah. Djokovic fan.
I was not happy with England winning. Whatever was happening at the circuit, I wasn't worried about that. Yes, what happened at centre court did give me some pain. So
I mean, look, I'm not a
championship.
anti-Federer. I'm not anti-Federer. I
But
love
again, and you knew, once he lost those 2 points,
he was done.
Yeah, he was
See,
done. Because
as I've always said, Federer is an artist who set the original benchmark for dominance.
Of course.
Because he was the first to get to 20. He was the first to win the calendar. He was the first to win the Grand Slam. Before Nadal and Djokovic.
Yeah, before Nadal. Correct?
So he was the original benchmark for dominance.
I think he was unlucky in the sense that you had 2 other GOAT candidates been coming in the same era.
Same year.
And you could see them coming, yeah.
I mean, imagine.
To be fair, I don't think anyone expected Djokovic to
Perhaps 2024, 2025, you could see a whole new era in sports. Imagine. You may see the retirements of Ronaldo and Messi after the 2022 FIFA World Cup.
I think
Nadal could retire. Hamilton could retire.
Hamilton is not. He already
2025?
see, his current deal runs till the end of the 2023 season.
Yeah.
It's 25 maybe.
Yeah.
Because he said, but he did say I'm negotiating. Multi-year. So multi-year could be 3 years also.
3 years also.
Unless he changes his mind. So lot happening.
So imagine Nadal retiring, Federer is already gone. Then Ronaldo, Messi retiring, Hamilton in 2-3 years time.
I don't think either of those things are happening. I don't think Messi and Ronaldo are hanging the boots yet.
No, see, Messi's already said Qatar's my last World Cup. Maybe he'll play more.
His World Cup, exactly. But again, I just have a feeling he'll be back in Barca for a season.
That will be the end
Ronaldo maybe. But again, Ronaldo, you know he.
No, I get your point. You know what the problem with Ronaldo is now? You have to accommodate him way more than what he even had to previously.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, it's becoming a hindrance. Why? Even for Portugal.
And
they have a lot of creative players now.
You've got Bernardo Silva, you've
Bernardo,
got
Bruno.
Felix.
Exactly, yeah, Felix.
Again,
Pepe is not a creative player.
No.
He'll kill you.
Yeah.
So he's also, by the way, on the verge of retirement.
Yeah.
He is.
But again,
great of the game.
I'm saying from 2010 onwards, onwards till now, we have had GOAT players redefine the entire sporting spectrum when it came to tennis,
You
when
could
it
have
came to
Dinesh
football.
Karthik also hang his boots, by the way. We know it's his last World Cup.
But see, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma retiring would be an epochal change as compared to DK.
Perhaps you could.
No, 2023. Afterwards, they will take a call. Pradeep Srivalsan, by the way.
Many people saying, likes of Shoaib Akhtar and a couple of others as well, that Kohli could, you could see Kohli, concentrate on a couple of formats, just give up one next year, just so that longevity comes into play. For him.
So yes, Pradeep Srivalsan, I did see that. And what is it with the umpires exactly? I mean, lack of vigilance, lack of counting. There was a 5-ball over in Naveen ul Haq's first over, and could have been a big controversy.
How is it that even the bowler didn't really remember, or anyone on the team? Everyone missed it. It's like the fake fielding.
Fake fielding thing. That's where you need. The third and fourth umpires are not there for many of these things. The third umpire is a 360-degree view.
Again, to be fair to the on-field umpires, like we were talking the other day, there's just too much happening, for them to take note of. You got to take note of the short run. You got to take note of.
But that is where the third umpire is coming to play now.
Of course.
Third umpire checks the no ball. Third umpire checks the short run. Now, why can't the third umpire alert them on fielding, on fake fielding? He's got a 360-degree view.
See, there's a limit to how many things you want to assign, but fake fielding
Or the fourth umpire.
Can you do simultaneously?
See, the fourth umpire is not there just to come out of the box of balls.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's mostly what they do.
That's and probably
He can alert the third umpire. The third umpire
come out
can
with the
there's a
light
chain
meter.
of command.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing. I mean, if you're looking at it, you can't give everything to the third umpire.
Yeah.
But until the no ball thing came into play, really the only thing umpires were there for were reviews or umpire checks. That's it. And you have the benefit. And fake fielding is such a thing. It really can't be policed by the on-field umpires. It's very hard.
It's very hard. Yeah.
It's easier to do it with the benefit of hindsight and replays.
And maybe crowd also plays out, because look, you're concentrating on so much that the crowd also drowns out the noise.
But the pace at which it happens also is impossible.
See, the Sheffield Shield, the last incident
And there is now, by the way, by ICC rules, there is pressure on everybody on the field, including the umpires, to make sure that the game gets finished. Every innings gets finished in a timely manner. So yes, perhaps that thing acts on the minds of the umpires as well.
Absolutely.
Well, you've got to be, we can be critical in everything, but or let's say bash the umpires or the system. But you got to understand everyone's got a role there.
Yes, so
Anyway, the match has started.
Pathum Nissanka got going with a 6 of Stokes.
9 rounds of the first over.
Yep, so Chris Wokes is opening the bowling at the other end.
At the other end,
Look to
Stokes.
get some
Stokes and Wokes.
All they need to do is bring in Ben Foakes. Then you have the trio.
Yep. And what will be the target? I think Sri Lanka should set about 180, 190.
They need at least 170, 180, nothing less than
And that's the par score at this stadium as well.
And that will test the England batting, considering that leg spin and mystery spin is something that can be their kryptonite.
And because they've got the spinners, like you said, and this is anyway a difficult surface to chase on.
If they have to face spin early, the best thing for them to do would be chuck Moeen Ali up there.
Yeah.
He's one of the better players of spin.
Yep. Akash Bharadwaj, that I can never ever predict. Who can win the next superstars against Messi, Ronaldo, VK, Rohit, Nadal,
See,
Djokovic.
Messi, Ronaldo.
Whose question is that?
Akash Bharadwaj. Messi, Ronaldo, you're already seeing Haaland and Mbappe becoming a thing.
Yeah.
So that's there.
But are they touching the heights of Messi, Ronaldo? They're not.
But that's the thing. That's an unrealistic expectation to begin with.
Of course.
Messi, Ronaldo are freaking aliens. It says a lot that Messi's worst season is better than some people's best seasons.
Absolutely.
Same with Ronaldo. His worst season or one of his poorer seasons saw him, score 20 goals.
20 goals,
So
yeah.
I don't. That's the thing. They're out.
22 maybe last season,
24.
right?
So that's the thing. I don't. You can't reach that level. So what you have to hope for now, and the thing with football is, it's such a popular sport. You don't need your one figurehead as much as you do.
Yeah,
It's such a popular sport. So Haaland and Mbappe already the next two. Maybe you'll see some other people emerge. Yao Felix, I feel, is someone who's has superstar in the making written all over him. He's just at the wrong club.
Nadal, I think tennis will be poorer.
Tennis will be poorer because right now the only one who I really see having that sort of
Alcaraz.
is Alcaraz. Carlos Alcaraz being the only one. He's a bit on the wishy-washy.
Theme has waned off. Zverev is
Zverev also.
Zverev again
Injuries and
Medvedev also a lot of
promise
issues.
to begin with.
Medvedev also a lot of
Zverev
issues.
is two problems. One, injuries. Two, off-the-field issues.
Same with
Which can derail
Medvedev.
him.
Medvedev.
Medvedev, another one. Medvedev though reminds me of early days Djokovic. It's no wonder they get along so well.
Yeah. So cricket, well, we don't know about it, and I will discuss that in some other forum at this point in time. But 6 years, Austin Kunna, Virat Kohli, greatest white ball batter of all time, period. Yes, I agree. Can he surpass Sachin? 6 years, 10,000.
It's very high. Actually, if he didn't have that very long blip, he would have been on course.
Yeah.
Now, probably not.
Yep.
Anyway, can we, what do you call it?
Yeah, we'll wrap up, and that is the situation we have now. England.
From Wokes to come back, 5 runs.
England need to win. Sri Lanka
Can spoil some parties.
and ensure that Australia go into the semi-final.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be back in the mid-innings for that. So stay tuned to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. I'll be back with a new explainer shortly. Press the like, comment and share button. We are also on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you.
Vanakkam.